welcome to this episode of Disrupt Education. We are in Jake Fine's house.
Yeah.
Vlogger, going into his senior year at Oak Park River Forest High School. Tell us where you're at now. What are you up to?
Ever since school let out, I've just been like on go. Like I've probably made since June 6th till June 30th, I gained 1,500 total channel views on my channel.
Right.
Which is that's just because I was posting so much more, and I think my content was getting better, and just I noticed improvements, and I'm implementing new things, and I'm being really experimental, and that's not even the only thing. I'm meeting a lot of people. Right after this, I have a meeting or a phone call, and the other night I was at the M Hub, and I made a huge connection there, and I'm just working on some big things that I'm not going to talk about, but just because they're not official, but just so much stuff networking and vlogging I'm doing a lot of right now. Yeah.
How did you get into vlogging? So what was it that said, boom, I'm gonna go, and right now you're at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's a long story. So I was never a big YouTube fan until end of 8th grade, freshman year. That time I was kind of out of shape, in my opinion, and then I would get comments about it in middle school, and nobody's nice in middle school,
right.
So I was really insecure. I started watching these fitness vloggers, and I was like, this is so cool. They're just I want to do this one day. And and then one thing led to another. I started documenting my life, but not posting it. I had this idea to make one big documentary about my grind. And it was all for baseball, and I was losing weight at the same time. Going into junior year, I had a fitness account on Instagram that I was it's so funny to talk about.
Yeah.
I was posting a lot of fitness stuff, my progress pictures, and it's still up.
Yeah.
So it's accessible. It's at Jake Fine Fitness.
Okay.
And
I got to follow this.
Yeah, don't.
No, it's part of your journey though. Right?
Yeah, no, it's cringy to think about right now, but it's
yeah. You needed to go through that to be where
I'm at right now. Yeah. So it taught me how to create content consistently in even when it's hard to, I realized I had to still to grow, and sometimes I wouldn't grow, and that taught me to persevere through that. So that was important. I ended up kind of giving that up though, just because I felt if I'm creating fitness vlog and fitness content and that's my brand, I have to live up to that.
Right.
And I still work out all the time. I work out, I'm doing all types of exercise now and eating healthy and stuff like that. But I just don't want my brand to be I want to be a content creator, a videographer. I want to make art, and I feel I can't, I'm limited to a certain audience and a certain expectation if I'm just fitness.
Right.
So then I transformed into just vlogging, and I was making one vlog a week, and that's kind of what we agreed to in your class. That was my project actually.
Yeah.
And then, so one vlog a week, that was tough when I started that. Now I that's going to be cake when I have to go back to school.
Yeah. So you've done 5 straight now.
I did 7 straight.
7 straight. Sorry. Yeah. It was a full week. I was going work week. But you did that. What was that experience like?
Tough.
Yeah.
Mentally tough. And I like to think of everything kind of like a bodybuilding competition, and I'll explain that. You have your time where you're bulking, where you're eating a lot and you're just working out, and it's just fun. You're getting stronger. Everything's just fun and happy.
Yeah.
And that's usually October, fall to spring. And then you, if you're a competitor, you have your show and you start leaning out, you start adding cardio. There's a week before where it's peak week.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about the week where I was just making a vlog every day.
Right.
At the end, I took a 5-day break from vlogging, which is the longest I'd taken at that point in the summer. And it still is, this whole summer. I think besides that, I've taken a 1 or 2 day break. And I was just gassed.
Yeah.
I mentally, and I had family coming in from Oklahoma, so I just took a 5-day break. But it threw me off. I kind of wish I didn't.
Yeah.
I wish I took a 3-day break.
Right.
So, but now that conditioned me to go to the next level, which I think I'm going to challenge myself July. I'm kind of toying with either vlogging every day of July,
right,
or making really bigger productions.
How do you
And
get in your mindset? Like, how do you get into that mindset?
I don't know, like,
because you're young, man. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I know everybody hates hearing that when they're your age, but
no,
you are.
I love when people recognize that, like,
Yeah.
like, because, like, you recognizing that I'm, like, ahead of the game at my age and, like, thinking differently and thinking older than I am, like, I love that. Like, I
Right.
wish I was an adult, kind of. Like, I wish I could have the freedom, and I kind of do, like, but that's a whole other topic. But, like, I just appreciate that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I don't know. I get inspired by, like, musicians. One, I can't, like, sit in silence unless I'm editing. So, like, if I'm, like, cleaning the kitchen, there has to be music. If I'm running, there has to be music or a podcast or, like, some type of mental, like, stimulation. And music, like, even when I'm working out, music motivates me and gets me in, like, a happy mood. Or, like, a not bored mood, which, like, just stimulates me in all aspects of life. But then I get inspired by musicians and, like people who I deem as creative geniuses. So, like this might be a little controversial, but, like, Kanye West is a creative genius. I think, like, it's hard for you to disagree with that. So I watch interviews of him when he's, like, after he just released an album or when he's about to release an album, and just listening to him talk about the creative process, and, like, it's so cool to me. Like,
Yeah.
the hours and the nights he put in the studio, like, that's why I just made my room into a studio. Like,
Right.
like I want to sit in there late nights creating art, like, just like they do. Like, I'm gonna make that room look like a music studio, because
Yeah.
I just, like, want a space to, like, sit down and, like, just, like, I just think that's brilliant. Like, any, like people who are, like, innovators, creative geniuses, like who, like, change cultures,
Right. Yeah.
they inspire me to make videos. And those are a lot of times musicians, and that's who I look to for, like, creating videos. It's so, because they're not the same thing, but it's, like, that's what I always tell people, and they're, like, weirded out by it, but, like, that's my thing.
So you have me thinking about education, right? Because that's what we're talking about here, and you're learning, and you're in your craft, and you're just grinding, doing your thing at a very high level.
Thank you.
By the way, how do you feel about, like, that space in a school? Does that exist in a school, or do you have to create that in your mind? You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have your space here, and
Yeah.
you're able to recreate it
Yeah.
however you want to. Does that exist in your high school?
I mean, there is a music studio in our school, so,
Right.
like, I guess that's one thing. But no, I think a space has to be personalized to you, or, like if not, you have to feel at home in that space. So, like, for me personally, there's not a place in OPRF or any school that I've ever been at where I feel at home, and that's just me. And I don't feel like I could be, like, truly, like, I walk around, like, my house, and I'll think of ideas will pop into my head for videos, or, like, titles or this or that. You have to be in a different mode at school. Like,
Right.
you're just forced into that or like, you don't succeed. So, like, in the school realm. So, like, not really, for me, at least.
Do you think it's possible to even, like, create that, or would it have to be, like, I talk to a lot of students, and they bring this up when they're high level, they're doing their work. Like, you are able to get there in school because of your mindset, so you can
Yeah.
environmentally do that in your brain.
Yeah.
And I know physically a lot of kids will stop at the physical space and say, all right, well, I'm in school, I'm boxed up, I'm not going to try. You're, like, what I consider a needle in a haystack, honestly.
Thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
somebody who can get out of that mindset and drive through it. Is there something that you think that we could change at a traditional, like, high school level or something like that? I mean, to help people get into that environment?
We need more people who are innovative teaching students to get, like, maybe I feel like I think about school differently than most kids, like, not in a way where I just, like, blow it off, because I feel like most kids actually take school seriously, and, like, I do to a degree, but, like you're innovator, you built the whole business program, like, kind of, like, without any support from your higher ups. So in that way, you're innovative, and you know how to get people to be innovative. You helped kickstart me by challenging me to make a vlog every week, and, like, that was a challenge, and then you gave me this huge opportunity, which most students don't get. Like, you gave me a huge opportunity to make a video to send to a guy who's building tens of millions of dollars. Like, he's putting that into a school to build that's going to disrupt just like you want to disrupt. And like, you gave me the opportunity to film a video for him. That kickstarted me, and I didn't need a space for that. Like, I had 45 minutes a day at school, a place where I don't necessarily want to be, to do whatever I want, and it's going to pay off for me. That's what motivated me.
I think one of the things that you saw was the actual opportunities. I mean, if you actually listen to myself and some of my colleagues, the opportunities are constant.
Oh yeah,
right.
I'm noticing.
But once you start to see those things and then you take advantage of it, I think that's, what I'm wondering then. What gave you the confidence to actually say, you know what, I can do that?
I've always just had this like work to succeed mentality. Like since I started kind of working out and like training for sports, I was inspired by like athletes like who had really good work ethics. Like, I'm not a huge supporter of this guy, but Kobe Bryant is known for his work ethic, and I would just watch videos about his work ethic and get inspired. Or like top high school athletes who like are about to go to college and then go to the pros, and like now I'm seeing them go to the pros, so it's kind of validated or like LeBron James, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, guys who like overcame these obstacles. That's where I learned like hard work, like find fun in the process.
You were also faced with failure, because just on one of your previous blogs, the Way Back Wednesday, was it? So where you were talking about how you got the day you got cut from the baseball team the second year in a row. Yeah. Right? But yet you still work at baseball.
I just, like, after that, I was working really hard for a long time, and then I just found more interest in fitness, so I stopped playing baseball. Like, I realized fitness was the way to go at that time. And then like the whole dream was to be a fitness content creator. And like, so I just grinded at that. Like, I'll outwork anyone. That's my, like, you can be better than me or more talented than me or better looking than me. I will outwork you. Like, that's how I want to be. And like, if you work smarter and harder, like, that's how I just feel like you can't beat me. You can't beat me at that game. Yeah. If I'm gonna work harder than you.
You put very high expectations on yourself.
Well, yeah.
But then if you don't meet them, you don't get down on it. You just figure a different way to do it.
But that you taught me that. Like, you taught us that. Well, like I already had that in me, but you kind of taught me like quick. Like, if you fail, just fast. What's the analyze it. Go ahead. I never knew like. It always took me a while to get back to like on track when I would face these huge failures or adversities, right? Like, or like what I deemed as failures. But you kind of taught me like the Scrum method, which is like, say you're gonna do something, do it, analyze, and then like that moment that it's analyzed, do what you have to do to get better. Like,
what worked, what didn't work, and move forward.
And that's helped me a lot. Like, since you taught it to me, and I've just been doing it ever since. So like,
what would Jake Fine High School look like?
A bunch of business incubator rooms with a bunch of Peter Hofstrausers, and just like just because I feel like you kind of have to, science, math, English, like maybe twice a week each, teach the basics, and then after that, like, kids need to be given freedom to like learn what they want to learn. I think kids get into like the stagnant phase, or like the kids who flip bottles during class instead of like taking the time you're giving them to like start a business. They get into that mode, and it's kind of sticks to them because they've been like they're juniors in high school, and that's 12 years or 11 years of like being told what to do, when to do it, when to have it done by, and like no creative freedom, like, or barely any at all. If you just if you teach a kid how to write, show them some different ways of writing, and like this is what's acceptable, and then give them 4 hours a day to pursue a writing career, or write a book and have it done by the end of the semester, or have a first draft done. They're gonna learn so much by just like writing it, showing it to the teacher gives feedback, watching YouTube videos, going on the internet, learning different techniques and reading themselves, reading what they're interested in, and becoming an expert on their own. Like, I feel like you have to let kids do that, because like at the end of the day, we're all gonna go and like either get a degree or like pursue a career we want anyways. And like, why do I have to go through 12 years of like doing what I'm told to do? Because like that's what's gonna get me to the next level. Like, I'm doing what I want right now, and I'm making a lot of plays, and I'm like making money without a conventional job, and like not to brag, but it's just like it works.
Right.
Like a business incubator feel, like learn on your own, pretty much. That's what I would say.
So 2 businesses really. You have Jake Fine Videos and then your vlog. Where can people find you, man?
Instagram is at @JakeFine_. YouTube is, my YouTube channel is just Jake Fine, capital JF, space in between. And then, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it.
What's next for you? Jake Fine, 2018 on. What does it look like?
A lot of vlogs, bigger projects. I want to move, like, vlogs are going to be constant, but I want to like do some big, like really cool, like edited films, like maybe get some other people helping me, like not just my own, but like maybe like a documentary. And then there's another like big thing that has nothing to do with videos that I kind of want to save for maybe the next interview.
Got it.
But yeah, that just more videos.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I can't tell you how much of a player this guy is at his young age. We're going to see so much more. A true disruptor while even in the system. Appreciate it, Jake. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Till next time, guys. We'll see you on Disrupt Education.